Hey gang, my name is Jason Platt and I am author illustrator of Middle School Misadventures Dance Disaster. And this is a full color graphic novel and it comes out April 5th, 2022 to bookstores everywhere. But I'm here today because I want to show you a little demo on how I work. This is all going to be digital. That's how I normally work, is with my Wacom Cintiq here, and I'm going to show you just a quick demo on the process that I kind of go through. Now, one of the reasons why I want to do this is because when I was a kid, when I was like in grade school and especially junior high, when I was really just hungry for knowledge and information on how professional artists worked, I really wanted to learn the processes. And there weren't a whole lot of books that I felt like could help me gain that knowledge. And if I had the availability of having YouTube videos and looking up process stuff that's available now, oh my gosh, I just would have been all over it. And so that's why I want to do this here, is to kind of show you on how I do things, because sometimes it can be a big mystery, you know. Whenever you look at a piece of artwork, or when you open up a book that has a cartoon illustration in it, you have an idea of how the artists created it, but but at the same time, you don't really know, right? So what I want to do, I want to draw for you my main character here, Newell, and like I said, kind of give you a little peek into my world here. Now, even though I draw digitally, I pretty much still handle this almost as if I I am drawing pencil and paper, because I still use a pen as my Wacom Cintiq pen, and it's not like I kind of just type in draw Newell or anything like that. I still had to physically draw them. So even though it's digital, I'm still hand drawing all my work. And just like with traditional media, I still like to do pencil drawings as well. And the reason why I like to do pencil drawings is that it's basically almost like my rough draft of the assignment. I can kind of make mistakes. I don't have to worry about it being tight. And I can kind of see where I'm going, which is pretty nice. So like, let me zoom in here a little bit for you. So like this stuff here, like these lines and like this circle and stuff like that, it's right now it's just a guide for myself. And I'm not really, it's funny because as I'm drawing it, I know it's there, but I don't really see it because I'm looking at the line work that I want to see and I can use. So here we have the face of our hero, Newell. I'm going to zoom out a tiny bit. I'll go more into his torso. Again, even like with like this scratchiness right here, I could erase that and make that a little bit tighter, and obviously I just did, but in normal situations, I don't worry about it too much, not in the pencil process. And if you hear some barking, that's my neighbor's dog. Zoom out a tiny bit so I can concentrate on Newell's legs. Now, there are a lot of different computer programs out there that you can draw with. There's a lot of people who draw with Photoshop, Adobe Photoshop. There are people who do, oh, what's it called? There's another comic specific comic program. It's escaping my memory right now. But I like to use Corel Painter, and it's just something I like. I like how the media kind of mimics real life media sometimes. So what I'm going to do here, as I'm looking at this, I feel like Newell's head is just a little bit too big for my taste. So I'm going to, and that's one of the great things about digital work too, is that if there's something that you don't particularly like, you can change it really easy. Now what we have here, this is my pencil drawing of Newell, and this is where I'm going to be using as my guide. And it's not perfect. It's not, I mean, it still looks pretty good. I'm really happy with it, but it's nothing that I can't, it's not like I can't see some mistakes that I want to clean up. Now, while I was drawing this, I was drawing it on the pencil layer. And that's the layer I'm not going to be really concerned about. Like I said, that's where I can make all my mistakes and where my thought process is going. But now I'm going to switch over and I'm going to go over to the ink layer. And that ink layer is going to go right on top of the pencil layer. And basically that's going to be acting as like a piece of like tracing paper that I'm going to put on top of my pencil so I can see my line drawing underneath. And as I'm working, I can actually turn the pencil layer on and off, and I'll do that to show you as I'm working, just so you can get an idea of how this is. So I switch to like an ink pen. I'm going to turn down the opacity of my pencil layer so you can still see it, but it's more like a ghosted image. Now I'm going to go to the layer on top of that. And concentrate now just on the inks. Now, because now I'm in the inks, I will be a little bit more cautious and thoughtful about how I place my lines. But again, this is a computer, so I can always control Z if there's something that I drew and I go like, ooh, what was I thinking? So if you ever see like a line disappear, it's because I didn't like how it looked, and I did a Control Z there. See, what's great too, so in the pencil drawing, we have Newell with a tight-lipped smile right here. And what's great is that I don't feel like I have to do everything that I did in the pencil drawing. So let's say instead of the tight-lipped smile, I wanted to have him like an open mouth smile instead. I can do that. So let me show you a little bit. I'm going to turn on and off the pencil layer. Kind of see what I mean? So let me go back, work on Newell's torso. And what's kind of great too is that with this particular program, and you've been seeing me doing it the whole time, I'm able to rotate my paper here. Because have you ever like drawn something and you need to turn the paper a little bit to get the angle that you needed? And what's great is that I can do that here too. And I use that all of the time. Zoom out a tiny bit for you. There's a lot of pros and cons with working digitally. I mean, obviously, one of the things I really love about digital work is that if there's a mistake, like let's say I'm drawing Newell's hair here and I sneeze, I don't have to worry about that line. I can just Control Z that basically. Or if after I've drawn this and I want to make a change, it's easy for me to go in and make a change without having to redraw the whole thing. But one of the downsides about doing digital work is that you don't have like a physical piece of artwork that you can like hold on to. I mean, you can print this out if you want, but it's not really the same. Kind of go in here and make a little bit of, kind of tightening it up at this point. So this is Newell. And he's obviously getting ready to go to the dance. He's excited. Actually, this is one of the great things about doing artwork, is that you can pretty much do like a stream of consciousness kind of thing. So let me just do some music notes in the background. And you can pretty much do whatever you would like. You know how I always kind of explain doing artwork is that it's almost like buying a Lego set. And you know, when you buy like one of those really big expansive sets like Hogwarts or something like that, it comes like with that big book, and you go through each step of like first take package number 1 and open that up and put that together. Now go to package number 2 and put that together. And that's really fun. And it's really great when you get done with that last page and the last bits and you're doing all the fine little details. But sometimes you just want to spill out all of your other Legos and just make something that's out of your imagination. And that's kind of the way I take doing drawing and making my own artwork. It's like taking all those bits of Legos and making something unique and something that I came up with out of my imagination. So this is Newell here for you. And this is him with the pencil layer underneath. And you can do the same thing. Even if you don't have a computer, you can do this exact thing without any type of computer equipment. You can just take a regular piece of paper and do like your pencil drawing, and you can like put another sheet of paper on top of that and do your ink drawing on top of that piece of paper. Everything I'm doing isn't nothing that you couldn't do with normal traditional media. And this was a whole heck of a lot of fun to draw this for you. And I hope that you had a good time too. And I think the next time I do one of these demos, I might add in one of his friends over here dancing, or back here. How does that sound? You want me to continue? Yeah, how about next time I'll add in one of his friends dancing along with Newell. But thank you very much. I hope that you had a lot of fun watching me create this. And like I said, I'll add in a friend of his on the same exact drawing later. All right, my name is Jason Platt, and we'll see you guys sometime soon.